Hey everyone, it's Michelle with Bariatric Tips. I am coming around to the camera. Hopefully you guys can see me. Melissa, if you are on, please let us know that you can see us. Here's me, peekaboo. Does it look all right, Maya? All right. Sorry about the connection issues. I ended up turning off our Wi-Fi and I'm just going by my data. So, welcome for the third time, take 3. We are gonna do a power-packed double chicken chili today. Say that 5 times fast. This was a happy accident recipe inspired by my desire to eat everything but the kitchen sink after a workout. When you are exercising and even when you're losing weight, it's so important to keep up on your food. And it's what I've learned in my journey is that snacking, it doesn't work for me. I respect anyone who can do it successfully, but my goal is to have meal A and meal B be so successfully health compliant that I don't need anything in between. And this Power Pack Double Chicken Chili fits the bill, okay? So I wanna make sure that you know that if you have any questions or comments, any questions about any of the gadgets, ingredients, anything that you see here, please chirp in because my camera girl Maya is going to make sure she tells me. Do you see something? No? Okay. Say hi, Maya.
Hi.
Anyways, so we've got a lot to show you today. This is a crock pot recipe, but the really good thing about this is that you don't have to use the crock pot if you don't want to. It can be done on the stove. I've done it both ways, and so I'm going to show you in the crock pot today, but just know you can pick and choose what you want. You can substitute. Here's the deal about a good recipe. A good recipe and good advice are very similar. They are benchmarks. They are roadmaps, if you will. And the great thing about recipes and advice is it's like the world's best low-cal, no-cal buffet. You can pick and choose what you want and you can utilize it to the best of your ability and pay it forward. So that's what this is all about. We are going to do Power Pack Double Chicken Chili. We'll go through the ingredients little by little and then we'll bring you over here to start. But I am going to start the stove and get our olive oil getting warm. So the spices that we're going to use today are cayenne pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, cumin, oregano, cilantro, a little bit of table sugar, just a half a teaspoon, and a half a teaspoon spread over 14 servings is a walk in the park. It'll just kind of balance out acidity. It will also, the sweetness will also tame any of the cayenne pepper if you don't like it as spicy as I do. So, and then a half a teaspoon of cornstarch just to thicken it up a little. There's lots of other substitutes out there that you can use. A half a teaspoon, like I said, over the course of 14 servings, I'm not going to substitute for it because it's such a minuscule amount over 1 serving. Okay, so Maya, why don't you come on over here so we're all hanging out together. Are there any comments thus far? All right, so we're going to do, first I've got all the spices. This recipe is like a mixture of different recipes. It's a little bit like a fiesta chili, a little bit like a traditional chili, and a little bit like a white chicken chili. And I haven't been sold on a single particular chili recipe that I have made pretty much forever, but this one changed me. I'm so glad that I just, again, like advice, I picked and chose and did a lot of choosing as to what I wanted in a good chili recipe, one that would make me want to keep coming back for more, and one that also fits the calories for a bariatric tummy, and one that just makes me really excited. And as you can tell, I'm really, really excited to share it with you. So this is a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of cumin, and then a half a teaspoon of dried cilantro, sugar, and cornstarch, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna put this into 3 cups of vegetable broth. You can use chicken broth too if you would like, but it's whatever you want, okay? And then I am going to just whisk it up a little bit. I just want it to just hang out for a little bit. We're not gonna use it for a little bit, but there we go. We've got it blended. All right, awesome sauce, almost literally. All right, now we need to come around to the stove and we need to deal with our ground chicken. We're using 2 kinds of chicken in this recipe. We are using ground chicken and we are using canned chicken breast. Now, come on over. The canned chicken breast, this is your call. You can use a chicken breast. When I made this recipe, I had the can on hand. It's a big can. It's from Sam's Club, and it's got 4 servings in it, and I'm going to use all 4. It has been drained. The dog drinks the juice. That was his treat for the day. What? He does. He likes it, Maya. Okay, so here we go. We have got, hang on, Maya, I forgot one thing, of course. Always seems to happen when we are cooking. Here's the ground chicken. Got it fresh today. Had to ask for it from the meat guy at the grocery store. It is a pound of ground chicken. It is going into a cast iron filled with about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit less actually, of olive oil. Hi Carrie, thanks for joining us. Woo, there we go. Take the paper off because you don't want to eat that. That's not the kind of roughage we like. Turn down the heat a little bit. So I'm doing this in real time. I guess I could have had this done for you before, but there's a trick and a tip that I want to show for you. Hi, Lori. Hi, Denise. Thanks for joining me today. Hopefully you got time to see this recipe come to fruition. Probably the majority of time is going to be spent making this chicken, but I wanted to show you a really helpful trick tip that I use. After the chicken is made, we are actually going to throw in 3 cloves of garlic, and then the recipe calls for a medium chopped onion. This is more like a large chopped onion, but I didn't want the onion to go to waste, so I'm using the whole thing. And I'm just using this to mix everything as we go. Lori, glad you are here. It's going to be so flavorful. Like, already the kitchen smells good. Maya would not agree because she does not eat meat, but that just means there's more chili for me. Yes, I love it. I love cooking with ground chicken. Today at the grocery store, I'm going to just call him a butcher, the butcher guy, the guy behind the counter. They didn't have ground chicken in the little meat container things that you get all the stuff from, and I was petrified. I'm like, of course, the one day I have to do a recipe demonstration, they don't have the meat that I need. I needed the ground chicken. So I went over to the deli, or the butcher counter, the meat counter, and I asked him, and he's like, oh yeah, we've got a case of them. You want all 6? I'm like, well, I'll take 3. So I took 3. They freeze beautifully. They thaw beautifully. Ground chicken is so good. You can use it for lettuce wraps. You can use it in chilies and in soups. I mean, seriously, if you use ground turkey with something, you can pretty much use ground chicken with something. So there we go. We are going to keep this cruising. It's looking good. Now, ultimately, a lot of times, this is where the trick comes in. A lot of times, hi Melissa. A lot of times when I am grounding or cooking ground meat, whether it's ground turkey, ground beef, or right now ground chicken, the granules are all different sizes. And so I like to create a little bit of uniformity with my meat. Number 1, because it looks better, and number 2, because it's better for a bariatric tummy. I mean, if you think about it, you want to have, the reason why they tell us to chew 3,000 times before we swallow is because you want to get it as small as you can so you don't have to work so hard as it's being digested. And so the way that I the way that I state this, I know we've all been to Taco Bell before, but you know, if you ever look at the meat in their tacos, it's like super fine. And so my husband and I always joke that we like to get it Taco Bell fine. That's about the only good thing they do, right? I mean, granted, it's delicious. But I like it to be uniform. And so this actually looks pretty good. I'm still gonna run it through my food processor and get those onions a little bit finer, and get everything uniform so each bite is as uniform as it can be. Hi, Bernadette. Thanks you guys for joining. Okay, this is looking pretty darn good. So I think you might want to come over here with me, but we are going to bring this over here so I can run it through the food processor. And like I said, that's probably the bulk of what we have. Maya, come closer. She doesn't want to be near the meat. This girl, you guys. This girl. All right, why don't you come over here and then focus here to here. Hi, Amy. What you making? I am making power-packed double chicken chili, and it is going to be incredible. All right, so this is going into my Cuisinart. I got this Cuisinart as a wedding gift back in 1999, and knock on wood, it has never failed. Of course, I say that before I'm about to turn it on. Hold on, let me just, oh, now we're going messy. It is not a good meal until I make a mess. All right, so we are just gonna give this a little zhush, swoosh, pulse. Come closer, Maya. It's not gonna hurt you. We're getting all these onion and garlic and ground chicken in there pretty uniform and pretty fine. And you know what? We can scrape the top of it so those little onions get their moment in the sun too. You're on the puree stage? Well, then you need a Cuisinart if you don't have one, Amy, because I don't know if this is considered puree, though. It might be considered more soft foods. Okay, so now we've got part one of our power-packed protein chicken chili. Come on over here. So here's our crock pot. Oh, I don't have a lot of... So the first thing that I use, I don't know who uses these in their house. These are crock pot bags, and they come in a container. This is the grocery store brand. You can buy a brand name too. 8 liners. It's like $3 or $4. It's a no-brainer. All it does is it makes for a very quick and easy cleanup. And I usually do not use the crock pot without them. And it just goes in. They're very different from oven bags. So please don't think that you have an oven bag and then use this. No, you have to use the crock pot, the slow cooker liners. So now I've got this, come on over, Maya. We are gonna put this chicken concoction into our slow cooker. This is just part one of, got my recipe timed out on me. I gotta get my, hi Mary, nice to see you today. Thanks for joining. All right. All right, we got that going. So now comes the second part of, we've got the chicken, the other chicken breast, the other white meat. All right, we got that going. All right, so remember 2 kinds of chicken. It gives good texture. Hi, Paula. We're gonna transfer the meat to the slow cooker just like we did. We used the liner for easy cleanup. And now we are gonna add the spices and the broth. And this is where goodness becomes, this is magic. All right. Huh? Lego went downstairs. That's fantastic. I hear him. The dog is trying to prove a point. All right, so now we're gonna add all the other ingredients. So let me bring them over. Maya, you just stay right there and I will bring them over. So I love beans and chili, but beans are obviously, they are protein rich and they are carb rich. And actually beans are more carb. They're like triple the carbs based on the protein. I've got garbanzo beans. If you don't like garbanzo or chickpeas, you can definitely use like white cannelli beans. You could even use kidney beans. The whole idea is you can use what you want. I'm doing just 1 can of garbanzo beans, just to keep the calories in check. Trust me, I could eat beans all day long, but too many beans means too much Michelle. So there we go. I am gonna do a container of mild green chilies. It's optional. I just love green chilies. Let me get my spatula here. All right, and then I am gonna do a can of petite diced tomatoes. And then we have the secret ingredient. Are you going to post the recipes? Denise, yes. You will get this recipe starting at 3 o'clock, and then at 4, 5, and 6 o'clock, you will get 3 bonus slow cooker recipes that my family absolutely adores, okay? But here's where we got to talk about the secret ingredient. Here's the secret ingredient. You're going to flip when you see it. I started using this secret ingredient, a couple of years ago. Can you think of what it is? All right, I'm using a can of pumpkin puree, and don't worry, you cannot taste the pumpkin flavor. It adds this rich and creamy texture. It's like the butter of the chili, but you're not gonna put butter in the chili. It adds a gorgeous color. Colorful food is pretty food, is wonderful food, is yummy food, is healthy food, okay? So let's get this in there. You are going to love it. Come close, Maya, because we really have to see this. You thought it was refried beans? Oh my gosh, that would be a carb nightmare, Lori. Trust me, I love refried beans, but the pumpkin puree, you, as a rule of thumb, could dump a can of pumpkin puree into your tried and true recipe, and you will think that you have died and gone to heaven. Hi, Delia. Thanks for joining us. We are making power-packed protein double chicken chili. So now I'm just going to mix this up, and I'm going to let it go. And this you can have for you could put it on slow, low, or you can put it on high. But here is how it's going to look. Now, this recipe makes about 14 servings of a half a cup of each. Now, 14 servings, I know it sounds like a lot, even if you cut it in half and you have 7 1-cup servings, that is fine and dandy too. I will give you the nutrition in just a second. I just want to make sure that it is. Oh, hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. To Michelle from Michelle. Hello, Michelle. All right, so here is our power-packed double chicken chili. You've got just an odyssey of textures here between the pumpkin and the beans and the 2 different kinds of chicken. We will go through the macros here in just a second. All right, so I'm going to let this sit. You guys gonna hang in here with me for 4 to 6 hours? Hi, Kim. I'm just kidding. I've got a crock pot here waiting for us so you can see it. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. And now I am going to talk about the nutrition, okay? So you're gonna love what I have to see, what it's gonna be here. So 14 1/2 cup servings is what this is based on. And I've got a half a cup just to show you what that looks like, because I give myself a half a cup, but then I garnish it. I garnish it with fruits, with vegetables, and I'll show you that in just a second. And so it's almost like having a little bit more. So while you think that a half a cup might not be enough, remember your bariatric tummy, and it's going to be more than enough, I promise. And it'll stick to your ribs and it'll make you feel good. It's just wonderful. So a half a cup delivers 142 calories, 5.2 grams of fat, 10.9 grams of carbs, and 13.5 grams of protein. So it's a really, really great protein meal, protein side dish, call it what you will. I'm about to have it after our broadcast today. Okay, so Maya, come on over here and let's check out our chicken chili. Here we go. This is the one I made the other day. Just wanted to be able to have something to show you. Okay, the only difference in this one is that I do not have the green chilies in there because I was saving that one can to show you. All right, so here we go. So let's give ourselves a half a cup. All right, that look good to you? Looks good to me. Okay, so I can take this a step further and I can add, what do I want to add first? I'll add some diced tomatoes because there's no such thing as too many tomatoes. And I can add some purple onion. Hi, Melissa Odell. I'm so happy that you made it. She and I were talking this morning. All right, some jalapeno peppers, a little bit of shredded mozzarella. And this is the best part. No, it's not sour cream. It's non-fat, plain Greek yogurt right on top. What else? Oh, then you can opt for some cilantro. If you don't like cilantro, here's some flat Italian parsley. Hi, Donna. Just in time for lunch. All right. Let me get a spoon. Trying to find a small, I'm just going to use a plastic spoon, okay? So I think this is a pretty sufficient portion for a bariatric tummy. It's very health conscious. I can't wait to dig in, so you guys get to see this right now. The heat of everything has melted the mozzarella. All right, if I do say so myself, pretty fantastic. And if you just tuned in, you will have this recipe at 3 o'clock. Power-packed double chicken chili. It doesn't get any better than this. If you don't want to use the canned chicken like I had shown you, that's fine. I don't use canned chicken all the time. I just happen to have had it on hand. You can boil a chicken breast and then shred it, however you want to do it. I just like to have options. Okay, so that's what I got for you today. If there's any questions or anything that I didn't address during this broadcast, I will review all the comments and I will make that those responses, I promise. I was very excited to show you this today, and I'm so happy that you all tuned in. Please leave your feedback and leave your comments. Don't forget that I do have a lot of video shorts on our TikTok page, Bariatric Tips, as well. I also, I know what I wanted to say real quick before we left. My daughter's rolling her eyes at me. She thinks I talk too much. She's right. But at any rate, to those of you who have purchased their mantra necklaces, like what I'm wearing right now, please know that I've got, there were ones that were sent out on Friday, and I've got the next batch going out on Monday. So if you ordered anytime between Friday and this weekend and right now, your necklace will go out tomorrow, okay? For those of you who don't know, Maya, can you zoom in on the necklace charm only? Find joy in the journey. Joy, jubilation over yourself. You should be celebrating yourself and your milestones, no matter how big or small they are. Always find joy in the journey. This is my new mantra for the year, and I am sharing it with you. You can order your necklace if you want. It is purely optional. The link and the 411 is on our Bariatric and Tips page, but you can choose your accent color. Green is my favorite color. It's a nice little reminder, especially if I'm out and about. I can hold my necklace. I know what it says. And I can continue to celebrate myself because I am worth it, and I know you're worth it. And there are days that are going to be easier than others, and there are days that are going to be a walk in the park. There are days that are going to bring you to your knees, and there are going to be days where you celebrate. But it doesn't matter what the trial or the tribulation or the success is, you are moving forward. So slow loss is better than no loss. And I just want you guys to take comfort in your own journeys. And if there's any way that I can help you, please let me know. I love to be of assistance, and I hope you find joy in your journey. All right, this is Michelle with Bariatrics and Tips. Have a great Sunday. Bye.